Let's take a moment and talk a little bit about Iceman. Iceman is one of my favorite X-Men, and I'm really happy that he's been getting so much exposure and love over the past few years. Recently, I duetted a couple of videos where it was Iceman versus another character, and in those videos, the other character won. Mainly it's Superman and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. And what I've noticed in those videos, as well as comic talk in general, is a lot of people think that Iceman just can't be stopped. He can't be defeated. And I respectfully disagree with that. I think there's a couple of win conditions that people can have over Iceman, but let's talk about the one I like the most. And we're going to use Big Blue Superman for this win condition. First things first, let's talk about Iceman's regeneration, which is one of his best abilities. Iceman has been able to regenerate from just moisture in the air, or him leaving parts of himself left behind and regenerating off of those parts, or many different ways. I'm going to talk about 3 issues from Iceman's most recent run, Astonishing Iceman, and use it to kind of establish exactly how one can get around his regeneration. And we'll start things off with issue number 1, in which we get a recap of the Hellfire Gala, in which Iceman says, "Nimrod injected me with cellular napalm. It hurt like nothing I've ever felt. Know what's worse? It was so quick, the pain took over. I could barely think. My cells were boiling to nothing, and the only thing I had was how much it sucked that he was there. Romeo." So in this instance, we see that Iceman was delivered a catastrophic attack throughout his entire body, in which the pain was so overwhelming that he couldn't think and he couldn't regenerate, at least not the way he normally does. We later find out in the issue that Romeo is almost like an anchor, a tether for Iceman to grasp back to the material realm and regenerate and reform himself. Now, if we move over to Astonishing Iceman issue number 3, Iceman is once again attacked by this asshole, particularly on the leg, where Iceman reacts saying, "Just like before, like lava in my skin and spreading. This can't be happening again. I've got to stop it." Romeo then says, "Okay, Bobby, I can't see what's happening, but you clearly in crisis. Slow down, remember yourself, don't panic." And Bobby responds, I got it. The pain took over last time. I couldn't think, didn't stop Orcus' hot mess before it spread." And Bobby was able to remove his leg and then whack him over the head with it. Now let's move over to Astonishing Iceman issue number 5, in which Beautiful over here says, "Orcus didn't go big enough. My heart blow like a mini sun. Fast, hot, and all-encompassing. It'll be the death in every direction. Just biblical heat from miles around. Nowhere for your mind to escape to." And to Bobby's credit, he stands there and he takes the attack. It's like a supernova almost. And in the attack, Bobby is disintegrated into nothing. But what's worth pointing out is that in some way, shape, or form, at the end of the issue, Bobby's still around. Maybe not fully regenerated, but like before, I'm sure Romeo is his tether, and Bobby will return. Let's give credit where credit's due. Bobby taking this hit and somehow still being alive, even if he's just vapor and he's not able to reconstitute just yet, is damn impressive. But let's look at the takeaways from these issues. We know for one thing that Bobby had trouble regenerating from this attack because it was all-encompassing. Attacked him on the cellular level. It took over his entire body and was so quick and so painful, he wasn't able to think clearly. And then for this attack, he needed to use Romeo as an emotional anchor to bring himself back. Now, as we saw in issue number 3, Bobby takes a similar attack, but it was not a complete body attack and as instant and devastating as Nimrod's attack. It was localized just on his leg. And Bobby then rips off his leg and pulls off his best Quan Chi and finishes the fight. And we see yet again Bobby take a hit that was all-encompassing, so fast, so powerful, that it disintegrated his body into nothingness. In which we know that Bobby's conscience is still out there, but he hasn't quite reformed yet. And we don't know how he's going to regenerate and reform. Whether or not it is through the emotional anchor that is Romeo, or if he figures out how to do it on his own. Based off these three issues, we can surmise that Bobby, if taking a hit as devastating, quick, and painful enough that it disintegrates his entire body, even on the cellular level, that pain may be too much and too quick that he can't think clearly and regenerate normally. So then let's talk about Superman. I think Superman's heat vision is more than enough that he could absolutely vaporize Bobby so quickly, so painfully, and on the cellular, atomic, and subatomic level that he wouldn't be able to regenerate. At least not right away, and maybe not without some assistance. We know from Superman Batman issue 80, when using his heat vision on the Omega Barrier, Superman can attack particles and antiparticles on the atomic and subatomic level. We know from Justice League issue number 19 that while this woman was empowered with the power of magic, gods, speed, light, color, and all of it, all connected throughout time, the whole of Earth's history held in a single moment, that when unleashing that power, Superman's heat vision was powerful enough to resist and stop it in neutralizing the attack. We know from Superman Batman issue number 10 that when dealing with these Doomsday clones, Superman's heat vision can attack in a widespread attack covering an entire area. In Superman Batman issue 41, we see that Superman's heat vision can damage the source wall. We know from Batman Superman issue 17 that Superman's heat vision can tear holes in the fabric of reality, which is pretty wild. And lastly, we know from Superman issue number 38 that Superman's heat vision can be activated to use his solar flare, which can create an explosion several miles wide and absolutely incinerate anything in its path. So what we can see there is, one, Superman's heat vision is more than powerful enough to destroy Bobby's body. It is incredibly quick, quicker than Nimrod's attack. It can attack things on the atomic level, damaging particles very easily. And we also know that he can attack widespread, whether it's with a widespread beam attack or whether it's with a solar flare. I have no doubt that Superman's heat vision is faster, more devastating, and more painful than Nimrod's attack. And that Bobby would be in such pain, and it would be so quick that he wouldn't be able to focus, and he wouldn't be able to regenerate. Or at least not right away. Because as we left off on issue 5, we don't know how Bobby's going to come back from that supernova-like attack. Whether it's using Romeo as an anchor, or if he's able to do it himself. But regardless, if Superman unleashes a full blast of heat vision, Bobby is not coming back for a long time, if he does. But hey, I would like to know everyone's opinion on this. Comment, stitch, duet. I want to know.